Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out. Ow. Woo! Yeah, that's going to be happening a lot. So welcome, everybody. We are delighted to have you here. My name is Brendan Francis Newnham. I host a national public radio show called the Dinner Party Download. That's awesome. So we give away stuff like that all the time, tote bags and weird shit. You should check it out. For the next 45 minutes, we're going to hang out with the geniuses behind China, Illinois. It's going to be awesome. We got a ton of clips. We're going to do a quick chat about what's new. I'm going to try not to spit on that. We're going to look at new stuff because that's more fun than talking about it. And then we're going to get to your questions. So think of questions for the end of this. So let me introduce our panel. This guy right here is Brad Neely.
How y'all doing? How you feeling? This is New York City! Hey!
And for those of you without the internet, he is the creator, writer, and executive producer of this show. This show is, of course, it's on Adult Swim, and it's based on Neely's previous web series, The Professor Brothers and I'm Baby Cakes. Last time I saw Brad, he was at a karaoke bar in LA singing LA Woman, which has a humongous guitar solo. Everyone was cheering, and he dropped the mic and left, and I haven't seen him since, so this was awesome. Next to him is Daniel Weidenfeld. He's the executive producer on China, Illinois. Yeah. I had a chance to hang out with Daniel 2 nights ago. According to him, only 4% of his sexual partners come to climax. So keep that in mind.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's better than zero.
Yeah. Next to him is Brooke Hogan. She's a singer, actress, and model. That's what her Wikipedia said. I asked Brooke if you're a model, and you said, sure, just tell them I'm a model.
I don't know what I modeled for.
She doesn't know what she models.
I dreamt about Abercrombie, so.
All right, you can do that. She
Yeah.
voices a lot of roles in China this season. She's the eldest child of the professional wrestler named Hulk Hogan, yeah, who's also on the show, and it's also why I won't be making any jokes about her right now. So we'll move right on to Dave Newberg, who I just have producer. But I've been around these guys for a while, and he pretty much does the whole goddamn thing. Like, Dave's the guy. He makes the trains run on time. All right, so before we get into some clips, guys, anything you want to say about this new season to prepare people before they...
Oh, yeah, so it's airing right now. The 4th episode happens tomorrow night at 11:30 on Adult Swim. Yeah! It's 22 minutes, so it's a real television show now. We're not around. We're telling stories.
No bullshit.
We're giving you characters. We're telling stories.
We're making songs.
Animating things.
So yeah, if you haven't already watched the first 3, you're not a good person inside. Your soul is dirty.
Brad is a child.
Yeah, man. But anyway, yeah. So that's the show. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's about the worst school in America. Yeah, okay, so that's about it.
All right, Dave, you're talking entirely too much, so just please tone it down for this.
What's that?
You're saying too much. I think you should just tone it
Sorry.
down. Okay, yeah, keep it down. All right, so yeah, basically the school is still up. Baby Cakes is still a student. American political figures are still brought back from the dead. And so let's just get to the clips, and I think clip 1 will give you a taste of what we have in store. So when you get a shot over there.
I don't remember making that.
Maybe you had too much glitter.
What the is going on?
Dude. Were you having Joe McCarthy nightmares in Los Angeles? Where did this, why this figure of all the past political figures to resuscitate?
Jesus Christ. I think it just came out of witch hunts, talking about witch hunts and how that's just so fun to think about actually going out and hunting witches. I remember when someone explained to me that it was about real boring people that you were hunting, not magical folks. So I thought, well, maybe American.
And yeah, so we got Tommy Blacha, who's a co-creator of Metalocalypse and is doing King Star King.
Voices the mayor.
He voices the mayor in this show. We had him do that voice, and it's like Joe McCarthy was this meek pussy. He was a horrible dude who just did terrible things. Like, let's just make him in Baby Cakes' mind the biggest badass in the history of the world.
And dress him like Van Helsing.
He's going out trying to kill everybody. Yeah, so that's sort of how we did that. And, we wanted to do more history stuff this season.
Yeah.
And, Baby Cakes is an idiot. How would he misinterpret someone talking about a witch hunt? And obviously that's pretty clear.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of history. We have Reagan also comes back this season. Everyone will be happy to know.
Yeah.
Dave Coulier does the voice for Reagan.
Cut it out for those unfamiliar.
Full House. Uncle
I think
Joey.
we'll be seeing some of that in a little bit. But also, we didn't get some in this clip, but there's tons of music this season, and I want to play some of the songs. But Brad, you've been doing this since your first Crease Comics stuff. What is the process? Do you just have a tune in your head and then you write, or do you work the other way around?
That's a good. That's a good.
That's a good.
That's good. I
done.
did like 50 songs for this season, for season 2, and some of them are 11 seconds. Some of them are 2 minutes or whatever. But yeah, the process is I've got a lot of melodies in my pocket.
In your heart?
In my heart.
Mm-hmm.
A song in my mind.
Tickle.
But it just kind of comes up where we're in the writing process. Oh, we'll need a song here because this is a montage. Or, okay, this episode would be fun if Baby Cakes bust into a rap right here. So, all right, I'll go in the office, make a song.
And you do pretty much everything, most of the songs, right?
All of it, every single thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the craziest part about it is Brad will need a song, he'll have nothing, he'll be like, we need something about Frank, or no professors being able to get a job on campus because the dean's raised tuition too high. So we need a song about that. And he'll walk around the block. Just literally walk around
the
in
only
his
person
phone
in
like
LA
a crazy
walking.
person on Santa Monica and Seward.
Don't tell him where I'm going.
No, it's okay.
In Venice.
Sunset in Seward.
In
Better,
Venice.
warmer. Right. But it's walking around the block, and we'll come up with this amazing melody that comes back that he's doing all just vocally onto his phone.
Yeah, I don't know anything about how to really do music.
Like the process is amazing. Where then from there, from recording this just into his phone as he walks and finds his rhythm and melody that he likes, he'll just make this song. Or
Brooke, do you go about it that same way? You make music.
I mean, since you steal all your ideas from me.
The secret weapon.
No, actually, I really was a little bit scared because I knew I had a little bit of competition there with the songwriting and the singing, the vocals. He's just angelic. No, actually, I was just telling them, he reminds me so much of the characters when he just talks in his normal voice.
She
I'm
thinks
like,
that's
oh my
a
God, you're
compliment.
Steve!
She thinks she's being nice.
Hi, Jinx backstage. Well, more interesting than hearing people talk about music, not that wasn't super fascinating, guys, is hearing some, so...
Let's do that. When it gets dull, we'll just throw some shit at you.
All right. Great
They're
arm.
not making it very fun.
Great arm,
All right,
dude.
real quick, I'm going to
Should,
hand out
ball
some
them
more,
up.
just real quick. Roll the clip. I'm just going to bring it around. Be quiet, and I'll secrets.
All right. That sounds like Ragtime Danzig or something like that, man. That's so warped. Why is he pissing on everything? Can you?
That's an episode that hasn't aired yet, but we've got a thing where it's something that he's done in the past, and once he pisses on somebody or something, he can't stop.
Yeah.
It was the only way he beat his brother at something when he was a kid was by pissing on his face.
Yeah.
And he has to do it. He does it once, and then he can't stop pissing on everything.
So then, that's an episode.
That's all we do. It's weird.
All right. Well, we're supposed to talk about other stuff, but when I was watching these clips, there's another song that I love, so I'm just putting this is to indulge me. Can you play the next track, which involves a bed bug? That's so good. That's all we needed to do, man. That is so good. That is so New York. Not only does it feature bed bugs, but the voice of Pony, of course, is Francis Ha. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, so Brooke, you do a couple voices this season.
I'm a little lost on the ones that I've done, actually.
Well,
She does a lot.
She has a substantial amount.
you've done a ton, but that's not what I was going to ask you anyway. So
What were you going to ask
voice.
me? No,
I was going to ask you,
like
your father's Hulk Hogan. You're engaged to a Dallas Cowboy, and now you're working with these guys who the most exercise they get is
they
standing in
make
line
me
for
do
Call of
weird
Duty.
things.
Are you so I can't imagine less intimidation from any two people in the history of the world, considering the person you're getting married to and then the father you grew up with. We're just a bunch of sissies.
Are you guys intimidated?
By
They're intimidated by you. If the backstage is any. No, how was it work? How was it doing this?
You know what? It's been great, actually. I was in Nashville at the time, and my dad was in Florida, and we'd have to get these recording studios, and then they would patch their voices into the earphones so we could hear them. It was a very cool thing that we do. It was very scientific. But one time I was in Tampa, and I was with my dad, and we both had work to do. So he said, Brookie, let's just go do it together. and I ended up saying the P-U-S-S-Y word about 100 times in front of my dad.
Wow.
So
Was your dad
This
wearing?
is so much worse than that, though.
I mean,
your dad's so game to say the craziest thing.
I was a little bit shocked. It was like a newfound territory with me and my dad. I was like, are you comfortable saying this in front of me? I guess I'm going to do it too then.
Well,
We're in.
when I was doing research, you were in a show with your dad called Hogan Knows Best.
I was.
Not
yeah.
to be confused with Hogan's
Right.
Heroes, which is what I thought your dad
I'm
was
just going to
originally.
say it, you know, like I know that the whole thing is like, well, actually, I'll just be honest. I got on the show because of total nepotism. I actually
All right. Welcome
really
to America.
I've been wanting to do voices for a long time. I
Yeah.
love music and I love singing and stuff, but you know, my dad, when I found out he was doing the show, I said, Dad, please, I want to do it so bad. Please tell them, put in a good word. So,
And he was like, hey, man, you got to put my daughter in the show. And we're like,
I was a little
that
nervous,
sounds
but
like a great idea.
they weren't excited about it.
You
They were
know.
like, all right, Brooke, go in there.
So Brooke came around to the studio just to kind of check things out, and we did have a voice left open on season 1, last episode, and we're like, Brooke, do you want to try this out? Your dad's been talking you up, and she got in there and really tore it up, had pro chops. We were blown away. I
Yeah,
felt
she
like
was
a
so-
dick for thinking she wouldn't.
But no, and then we got to season 2, and there were a lot of female roles we needed just throughout. There were some students, there were some teachers, there were love interests for Steve, and the diversity. Like, people can't even believe that she's doing all these
Yeah.
different voices.
I'm
even within
paying
the
them
same
to say that.
episode.
Well, we're going to
Yeah,
see a
no.
clip. I think we'll see a clip in a
Yeah.
second here. But your dad calls everyone brother. Does that make these guys your brother? Like, is there like sibling? Like,
Would
are
that
you
be
guys-
kind of incestual business-wise? I'm not really
I don't know.
sure.
Are they in the
If
family
they're my
picture?
brothers.
I'm just wondering. Is there a picture of you guys like taking at Sears where you're all like wearing sweater vests? Together, like, all of
You know what? Actually, my mom one time made us dress up like little kids from Holland, and she
Whoa.
actually made my dad wear the little like suspenders
Oh.
and the
Lederhosen.
yeah.
We need a
whatever
picture of
is.
that, Brooke,
Yeah, it's pretty
afterwards. Let's talk.
awesome.
Oh, man.
All right, well, let's. So this is a clip which has a couple scenes from different parts of the show, but you are embedded in this clip. I think we'll know
Nice.
when
Okay,
you
cool.
arrive, and there's
I'm
lots of other
nervous.
fun stuff. Oh yeah, let's give it up. That was great.
Thank you for playing the G-rated version of
Oh.
that too.
We have some
Yeah, we
pussycats
got
over
some
here,
cats
guys.
over there.
You guys are just so cute. Eat you.
Right.
You knew that voice like immediately. Like you had the script for a few days and you read it and then you came in to record and just like you're like, oh, I know this person. Like that was so weird.
Yeah, we didn't have, that lady was not like that in the script.
She was
until Brooke
younger,
came
she
in.
was prettier, we had her designed.
Yeah.
And then you started doing that, we're like, oh, this has to be an old woman who's obsessed with
Like,
cats.
yeah.
Who just is really just so into it, where she's taking it so much further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got frisky.
Yeah. I like that she was hiding it from her husband, that she loved it too. Yeah. If I remember correctly, she said her husband would just cook her goose if he knew how much she loved pussy.
How much pussy she's getting.
Yeah, how much pussy she was getting
Yeah.
is what I said. Yeah, that is
Did
right.
you say that in
Oh,
front of
man.
your father?
I did.
Wow.
And I looked over like, is this cool? And he was like laughing behind the glass. I was like, all right, this works.
I have a question. Was your dad wearing a shirt like this? Like,
Now it just gets weirder.
just picture him without a shirt on.
No, he was ripping it actually.
Oh, yeah,
He was so happy.
totally.
He was like tearing it off.
Yeah. All right. That's what I thought was going on. All right, so we're gonna get some questions from you guys, so build them in your brains. Oh, sorry, was that? I'm new to Comic-Con, that's why I'm wearing a suit. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thanks. I got laid in high school, so.
Says the guy in a cat outfit.
No. So we're gonna do questions in a second, but before we do, I'm a longtime friend of Brad. So, and I guess everyone's your Facebook friend. If not, you should be, because it's awesome. But if you do follow Brad on Twitter and Facebook, you'll notice that things have been getting more active lately. And he's returned kind of to you've returned to your early Crease comic stuff, like your web videos, your single pane. It's awesome. It brightens my day. It makes me sad about humanity sometimes, and then sometimes it gets me really excited.
Yeah, I'm trying when I find time, but I am doing single panels every day and putting those out, and I'm making new videos in the old style where I draw them all and make music.
So we have one of those videos. I want to ask you.
See one of those!
Yeah, we have one.
Let's watch one of those videos, and then we can ask Brad about that.
So I have a question, actually, because we haven't even spoken about it. But so why, since you're going back to this old style that you were doing back at Super Deluxe and even George Washington, why did you put pupils in for these single panel videos you
Yeah.
Pupil question.
What's that?
It was a pupil for people.
Yeah, the
couldn't
pupil
hear,
question.
Yeah, there will be a lot of pupil-related questions for the rest of this Q&A.
The rest of my life, I think. I started putting pupils in whenever we got to fully animating China. It was my call. I wanted to do it creatively. I felt like it gave the characters more life. It gave me more to say emotionally on a face. And so, I mean, I've adopted in the way that I draw just personally, you know, in sketches and stuff now too. So, I mean, the pupil-less phase was, I guess, just that for me now.
That was your blue
phase.
period.
Yeah.
So that was unconscious. You weren't. That was like an unconscious decision. You didn't realize.
To do without the pupils?
To do with it. To go back to doing pupils.
No, it was like once I started doing it for China, I realized, oh, this opens up a lot of stuff for me. There's things that I did with Pueblo with his eye acting that feels good and detailed. So it was just another tool that I decided to use.
Where did Pueblo come from? How did he arrive in your brain?
I mean,
did he ollie into your head?
I used to skateboard. I used to work at Michael's. I used to buy Whoppers. I still drink 40s. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have hair like that.
Did you eat racism fries when you were?
I avoid them because I am progressive.
All right. Starting covering up that tattoo.
I'm trying underneath this.
Yeah, underneath that beard is the tattoo.
Hi, Brad. Really nice to see you again. I'm glad the season's back. You know, all that. My question is, have you ever thought of a Baby Cakes mixtape?
Ooh,
A mixtape.
Oh,
Baby
yeah.
Cakes, yeah.
No.
Have you ever heard a mixtape?
You talking about
like one that rappers put out right now, where it's like collection, like mixes.
Yeah, I'm not really clear on what that means.
It's like, would you put out an album of songs Baby Cake style?
Yeah, it's either a bunch of songs Baby Cakes would listen to.
Is that just what people are calling an album now?
Pretty
Sorta,
much.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm old.
All right, so I think you have your answer there, and we got a lot of people, so yeah. Awesome. No, he is not doing that, or didn't do that. Over here.
Bring back the Dream Reamer. That's not a
Yeah,
question.
we're working on it. We're working on it.
My question though is, you said that you got the idea for the hunting witches. The witches are actually boring people. Whose idea was that?
So her question was, you said the witches. You said you heard the theory that witches were actually the boring people.
No, that they were. He was hunting boring people. He was just hunting like senators and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
He was hunting anybody who was just that he thought was a communist. They could be senators, they could be writers, they could be whoever. What's that?
Yeah.
Charlie, witches
Eugene
are
O'Neill.
interesting.
Yeah.
Ely.
Did
we sort of answer
the
that
most boring
question?
answer in the world.
Let's do the next one. We're going
All right,
fast.
Yeah.
Hi,
Thank you.
Brad.
Go to Wikipedia for that full answer.
I really love the new season. I feel like Frank and I are definitely kindred spirits, which I don't know how good that is, but we are. I don't know, are you drunk enough to do a rousing round of Blue Moon?
Oh.
Ba 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 ba.
Oh boy.
Maybe we'll do Ba 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 a little later. We got a lot of people to get to.
Couple Ba Ba
But
Bas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
I've seen him do it.
We'll do it all together in the bathroom.
First, thanks for the high five.
Yeah.
And second, is Jason Alexander coming back? Because he was like hysterical. And so
I know. Yeah, we did a really dumb thing where we cast him not only as a ghost, but a ghost that we doubly killed. So we've been racking our brains about how to bring him back. You know, like, okay, maybe the gang saying the panda dies. They have to get a new panda. He's reincarnated in that panda. That panda now has Jason Alexander's voice.
It's almost a different show though once
Sounds
you start
great.
doing that.
We're trying to figure it out. He was really pleasant to work with, and also a Seinfeld person. So. But we treated him poorly.
Let's be honest. Brass tacks. No, Jason might come back. He's just dead.
Oh, he had a good fun.
Hi, I love the show. I love how it's kind of it can be really simple and rough and still have just wonderful like pacing and look and be like smooth and have just this great bounce to it.
It's a great question.
Now that it's half an hour, do you think that do you feel like the pacing of it has changed to accommodate?
Yeah, I think that we are able to not go as fast. When I watched the first season, I feel like it might be a little too quick because we were cramming a lot in. I think the new season, respects the audience a little bit more and still does what we do best, I think.
Can I ask you a question? Are you not wearing a shirt underneath that jacket?
I am not.
All right. There we go.
Weeblo.
Killing it.
You're not a very...
Weeblo.
Wow.
What? Look at this guy.
You remind him of Quiblo, the character. But you're not a very furry pussycat, I will say. From this
Red sweatshirt. Cape, I mean.
So I was rewatching season 1, and every time I do, I'm really impressed with the way that you guys handled the FBI director being deaf, with the very accurate ASL and whatnot. And I was wondering what inspired you to do that?
Well, yes. That was a cluster to try to do that as our first episode.
Yeah.
I like hand acting. And I also like respecting people.
It's usually a pretty good choice.
You should have started with that.
So, I thought those two things went together. I thought it was really fun to have somebody having to voice their own berating, like a guy's having to say those horrible things that his superior was. Yeah, that just made me laugh.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, over here.
Hey, I really like that one episode from the old Professor Brothers where you're interviewing the TA.
Yeah,
and
Gabe.
I was wondering if you could just do me a favor and just say Gabe the way he says it really long.
Is it
Because
is
it's
it
pretty
Frank
awesome.
that says that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe.
Thank you. A deep cut there. Over there.
Hey, big fan of the show. Loved your YouTube stuff from Baby Cakes Diary #1, Washington, all of it. It's been awesome. Anyway, my question was, so I feel like Baby Cakes was one of your larger jump-off characters as opposed to the Professor Brothers. But in the show, I feel like there's not enough of Baby Cakes, but I think I can understand why, because Baby Cakes it's hard to keep a consistent plot with him because he's just too crazy.
Yeah, but I want people to feel like you're feeling. You want more.
I want more
him.
Baby Cakes.
Yeah.
Like in the last episode, not the most recent one, actually, the second most. Anyway, he makes the meat bars.
Yeah.
And one of the best parts of that is when he asks the bartender for his depression potion. And it's literally just a bottle of vodka. Why are you drinking depression potion, man? You're at a panel.
Oh, you gotta do what you
Anyway,
gotta do.
Can I expect
one man's dreams is another man's nightmare.
All right. Is there a question in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I expect to see more Baby Cakes like how I did in the clip where he has a dream?
Yeah.
And can I see any of the brain?
If you know where to pause, you can. And we made a great effort in season 2 to socialize Baby Cakes, make him more active.
He misunderstands things a lot more,
make him
too.
cause
the
a lot
Robin
more
Hood
trouble.
kind of stuff where he just he doesn't know who Kevin Costner or Robin Hood are.
Yeah.
He does that far more often.
We have a few episodes dedicated, like he's the main story.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, dude likes Baby Cakes.
How you doing, Mr. Neely?
Oh, man, I'm surviving.
It's good to hear. Good to hear, bro. First of all, I want to thank you because I'm a teacher, and China, Illinois, and just the faculty on that show just gives me someone to look towards for guidance, just an iota of what I could be at some point. My mascot's not as cool as the panda. We're just the Hawks, so we got to work on that. But in the interview you did with the AV Club, you mentioned that a lot of how you developed Frank and Steve was based on your idea of college, or your perceptions of it. And I was wondering if there was possibly anything else from your personal experiences growing up in school. I'm thinking that Frank and Steve seem a little more like they'd have roots in a middle school teacher because they're just screwed human beings. Am I on the right
Painting
track?
a terrible picture of the education system in America.
Or at least the college that you work at.
Where should
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm a high school teacher.
Oh.
Nice. No, that's okay.
So I'm in the mandatory.
No, I didn't really go to college. I took art classes occasionally at colleges or facsimiles of colleges, but I didn't really go. So
I can attest to that.
My idea of what college is kind of super high school, so that's probably what you're responding to. The teachers that I've had teach me were those people that you're talking about.
Barely holding it together.
Yeah, it's the only experience I have. What's up over here?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Keep teaching.
So, rough estimate, how many shows would you say are written drunk?
Oh, none. No. I only drink when I have to speak socially. I'm a stone cold murderer at work.
He is a machine. You are a borderline workaholic. Not to
It's
disappoint
trouble.
people.
It's trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've tried to have a few drinks and work. It doesn't work out. Dave can attest to that.
Yeah, we have to do it again.
Doesn't work. It's ugly.
Yeah, hi. I guess I didn't know that Baby Cakes was the Messiah, so I guess I can go back to my fellow Mossad agents and tell them that. Comments?
Well, you just...
We're happy he's here.
Wow. He is a fictional character, so I want to go ahead and throw that out there.
I didn't know Mossad dudes wore T-shirts that said Mossad.
But I'm glad that you caught that joke. I mean, it always cracks us up, but it often goes past a lot of folks. So, yeah. Thanks, man.
Hello. I really
Hey.
love this show and how it's developed so much. I was wondering where you got the name China, Illinois from.
You know how there's like places called Paris, Texas, and like London, Wyoming, and shit, where people get really lazy and just name it after like some beautiful town.
Better place.
Yeah, better place. I just thought, let's blow that out and name a town after a nation, and that'd be really stupid. We did that. We got going. Guess what? There's a China, Illinois for real.
All right, we're coming up on time, so we have like a few more minutes.
Let's race through it, quick.
Let's race through it,
quick.
Put your questions in one sentence.
Will we see any more wizard people, or I'm sorry, the Harry Potter?
Probably not. Next question.
Will you ever do like presidential history for the Professor Brothers ever again?
Yes, maybe in the short form. We're going to see what we can do about it, but we try to squeeze in small amounts of lectures in the series. I love doing it, but it's hard to fit into a third-person narrative structure. Next.
How do you think the fans will react to this new season than the previous one?
Well, it seems like you guys are having fun, right? That's all I can hope for.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, big show. Big fan of the show, whatever.
Big show.
Big
show.
show.
Big show.
Hashtag
down.
Get that question out. All right. Are we gonna see any? Are we gonna see more of the minor characters, like the students, like that nerd and Hannibal Blue's character?
Yeah. They're huge in this season. Hannibal's character.
Is it gonna be like
Megan Stacy that she does? Chelsea Peretti does some voices.
This guy Ryan Flynn's amazing. He does a bunch of
Flynn.
students.
He's the one who does the nerd Pimsy.
Yeah.
And one more question: is it gonna be like an episode revolving around just them, or not really?
We'll get there, but we have so much to cover with the main four.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Next question. We're closing down.
Design-wise, what was the inspiration behind the Dream Reamer?
Like the old school werewolves, there's one that has that big puffball, and it just always made me laugh. And then putting those streaks up, it's kind of Bride of Frankenstein, so that.
Nice hat, dude. It's awesome.
All right.
Hey, Brad, I love you.
Oh.
In the near or far future, do you plan on having an episode where it discussed how everyone got to China, Illinois, like why the Cakes family is so heavily involved in the college?
Yeah, we have some backstory that that helps us navigate our storytelling. I have a feeling that Baby Cakes, Frank, and Steve all grew up in China, and we've mapped out Frank and Steve's parents.
They taught at the university. They were like the Prof. Cakes' colleague.
Yeah, but they've retired.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
And also, I love America Now. I just wanted to let you know we need more America Now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, last two.
Hey, let's go. That guy.
Oh yeah, over here.
Oh, this question's for Dave. Dave, what's up?
What's up?
That was decent.
Thanks.
Last question,
Quick
appropriately
scenario.
from Satan.
Quick scenario. The world has gone to total destruction, and there's little intelligent life left. Brad, would you take up the responsibility of teaching the entire population correct history, or would you take the chance to screw up history.
Honestly, I don't think that there is a true correct history. I think it's really difficult. There's no master narrative. Everyone gets it wrong. There's no way to contain the past.
But you're not going to kill us now, are you, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. China, Illinois.